Hello there. So, you must be the new idiot. The new night guard that the boss hired, eh? Well, we certainly got taste in it. Okay, look, I'm not fooling anyone. Look, you chose one of the worst jobs in the world to take at the moment. Not a lot of people survive when sitting in that chair, like you're doing right now. But the reason we're here is for actually something a bit more important than getting KO'd by the dog and trying to survive the night trying to own a plushie by the name of Jelly Iggy. Again, I'm slightly sick of that blooming toy, seeing how many Iggies are around the place. But I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so you're probably here because you want to know the origins of this place, eh? About what came before that dog was on stage. Well, there was another dog before that one. Again, I'm not sure which dog I preferred more, the one that constantly talked or that one. But let me start at the beginning. Now, of course, you know the owner of this place is none other than Iggy himself. No, not the dog, the person. Yes, the guy that owns the building is also called Iggy, and the place is called Iggy's Funhouse, and the dogs are called Iggy. There are several dogs in this establishment. You might not be able to see them, but one of them actually resides in the parts room. You can pop up over onto cam 3 to have a look and see if he's in there, but you doubt you blooming see him. You can hear him though when he's there. Trust me, you'll hear him. You'll know. Anyway, you're probably curious as to why said dog is in the back room, why he's not on stage where the main attraction should be. Why both Iggy's aren't there? Well, that's the thing. Nobody knows what happened to Iggy 1.0. Iggy 1.0, of course, was the star of this place for several years. And he was really popular with the kids. I mean, he was super popular. So popular, in fact, they made a whole bunch of different plushies of him. And you can never really get rid of that dog. He always made himself known. Anyway, it was a real big attraction here. And then the owner thought, if one dog really was that entertaining, the kids loved Iggy so much, why not another Iggy into the mix? You know, 2 times the fun. So he went ahead and created another Iggy. Why he made another dog, I don't know. Why he also called it Iggy, I don't know. He's really obsessed with the dog in general. But he made another dog. He was much taller, much younger looking, but he didn't have that artificial intelligence that the first dog had, so he didn't quite talk by himself and, you know, how should I put it, play nice and loans. I'm not saying that 2.0 isn't nice. It's just, he does more of what he's programmed to do, rather than think for himself and learn. But that dog was always a bit buggy, in all fairness, that new dog. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him, it's just, I don't know. He was always watching Iggy 1.0, and Iggy 1.0 certainly didn't like him. It became apparent to the owner something definitely was up. He did indeed love these dogs more than anything. The animatrons mean the world to him. I mean, if anyone was to get hurt or to get blamed, he'd side with his animatronics. He won't even let us check them over. Anyway, I don't know exactly how to explain the way Iggy 2.0 is acting around. The other dog wouldn't exactly interact with staff, whereas Iggy 1.0 would. He'd even help her put away the chairs and stuff, that dog. He was like a member of the family, but when the new dog came along, Iggy just wasn't the same. He tried to stick to himself and keep the kids happy. But you know, it's like when kids see a new puppy at Christmas and the old dog just gets left behind. But that wasn't the case. That was the strangest thing. The kids still adored the old Iggy. They'd always rush up onto stage and, you know, go hug him and tell him how he was their favourite, regardless of the new dog. And then, one day, I'm not really sure how it happened, But Iggy 1.0, he was broken. We looked for him everywhere. And there we found him. He was dismantled. We're not sure how the heck it happened. Nobody knew how to dismantle these animatrons. Nobody, not a single member of staff, had the experience to dismantle anything of that stature. Least of all one of these dogs. We wouldn't dare dismantle any of them. But when the owner found out, he was devastated. Iggy 1.0, he meant a lot to him. I mean on a personal level. Iggy was the very first. But even with how broken Iggy 1.0 was, he didn't want to get rid of him. So he kept him. He kept his parts and stored him in the back room. In the place called the parts room. Now, if you think our story's over, that if it ended there, you'd be sadly mistaken. You see, that's where things start to get really weird. One day when we all came into work, we heard a commotion like a racket coming from the parts room. And one member of staff went into the parts room and discovered there was Iggy 1.0, back together again. Unfortunately, the poor thing, poor Iggy 1.0, he really was broken in, pieces of him were missing. But again, it was a hard decision for the owner to make, unfortunately. He decided that due to how badly damaged Iggy 1.0 was, he decided that he couldn't risk putting Iggy in front of everyone in case he had a glitch or a malfunction and lashed out. And that it was better for public safety that the dog didn't come out of the parts room. Again, as I said, the owner loved that dog. That's why he didn't part with him. But I don't think Iggy 1.0 liked that. And we're not even sure what on the earth happened to him. And after that decision was made, Iggy 2.0 became the star of the show, and that's why he's on stage today. But we still don't know what had happened to Iggy 1.0 put him in that state to begin with. And although we don't know who exactly put him in that state, there's one thing that became apparent. We'd often hear Iggy 1.0 saying, "Get him out." The dog seemed to hate the newer dog more than he ever has. He's never before demanded anything. Not to mention, he acted a bit more different around staff. More reserved, as I said. You know, at night, people have claimed that they've heard Iggy 1.0 talking to someone. We're not sure who. Oh, that reminds me. A few members of staff have claimed to have seen a black Iggy. Or a shadow. But that's... Most people thought it was just Iggy 1.0 walked out of the parts room. But upon investigating, we find Iggy 1.0 was still in the parts room, sitting where he was last time. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, the owner does indeed go to visit that dog. Iggy 1.0 was his first ever animatron. His first ever creation. They've been through thick and thin. But I wonder, who fixed Iggy? And then of course there was that incident with that guard. But don't worry about that. That's another story for another day. Don't you worry about it. Now try to survive the night and don't die. I'm sure you can successfully do that. And do tell me if you see anything like a shadow. Iggy. Anyway, best of luck, better you than me. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed this little tale. Ta-ta.